everybody, it's Lady Shatana, and welcome back to another one of my Getting Started with Mine Colonies videos. Today we are again talking about the Hive style and the cool things you can do to make it the most beautiful colony that you have ever seen ever. And today we're going to be talking mostly about infrastructure and the utility cells and some special parts that are in the style to help you make the coolest, most amazing, sweet colony that you've ever seen in your entire life. So let's do that. Again, we are working in the Minecolonies Simple Life mod pack. That is my mod pack, and I think it's the best one. And we're going to eventually be working more on this colony that we started in the last video. But one thing that I always recommend with any style is that when you get started, you want to take a look at all of the things that are in the style. And with Hive especially, you want to get out into an open space and use that build tool and take a look at all the options that are in there to help you build a colony. We builders do put things in there, in especially this infrastructure and this decorations area, that are going to help you make the colony awesome. So we're going to take a look at a couple of things. So we'll take a look at the utility cells here. There are two items in this utility cells. The first one is the empty cell. It is, and we're going to pop this up here. It is a single cell. So you've heard me use the word cell before. That is just a, just like when you're taking a look at a beehive, they build things in these lovely cells. And that's how the Hive style was built as well. So this is exactly what it says it is. It is an empty cell. You can upgrade it, and it will upgrade the same as other buildings to eventually match. And it's just empty. It's something you can put in anywhere in your colony and use it for whatever makes you happy. And so that is something that's available to you. The other thing that's in this section is the stair. Now the stair is an interesting one. It again, it upgrades so that it matches everything. As you can see, the inside part didn't change at all as you upgraded, only the walls, and has a hole in the floor that actually has placeholders there. So if you fill that floor in, it will stay filled in, and it has a space up here. This one is meant to be stacked, obviously, so you're going to place one and then you're going to place another one on top of it. When you're building normally everything side by side, you want to make sure you overlap the walls, but you will note as you continue with your builds that items or these different huts and things stack on top of each other, so they will sit on top of each other. So when you build one of these and build another one, it's going to sit on top, and you will need to rotate it around. But as you build it, you will see how they fit together. But you can stack these one on top of another so that you end up with a staircase, and that's something that might be a good idea at various spots throughout your colony so that you can move up and down. Now that of course depends on whether you're going to have a colony that works vertically or if you're going to work just entirely horizontally. So just be aware that this cell is something that exists. The other thing in here is the roads section, and if you've played with Hive before, you'll see there's a couple of new parts in here that Gino, Tad, and I have created to help make things easier. So there is Road Straight. It is, again, exactly what it sounds like. It is a straight spot road that upgrades, but you see the upgrades only change the walls. They don't have even the floor in there. And that is because there are some inserts that can go into the straight road, and the upgrades just make sure that those inserts are not affected. So it just, as I said, it just updates the walls there. But it's exactly what it says: a straight road to take you from one section of a colony area to the next. There is then the road intersection. This is one that I think is a really important one, and one that I would suggest using a lot. It opens the space up in between various parts of your colony, lets you put in directions. It also has a couple of inserts that can go in here, if I recall correctly, so you can use it for growing things and that sort of thing. But again, you'll see that the upgrades only upgrade the walls, so that whatever you do with the floor part is going to stay in place. And as you see, it actually has 6 doorways leading in or out, obviously. And so this is something that you're going to want to be using quite a bit. A very, very handy item. You then have a road curve. This is, again, exactly what it kind of sounds like. It is an intersection kind of space where it has the 4 bits going in and out. Again, as you upgrade it, it is going to keep those pieces in place on the bottom and just upgrade the walls. So again, they've got the ability to have your directions. You can change it out so that, say, if you do districts in your colony, you can maybe change out the flooring and the signage to indicate what district you're moving into. And then as you upgrade it, it will only change the walls. So another really useful piece that's there. Next we have converters. So these are new parts. If you've played with it before, you'll notice that the Hive style really is kind of built to just go in one direction. You can sort of move off to the side using these various parts, the way the doors go together, but it's really meant to just kind of go, north south or east west. So we added these converter parts that will help you with moving the colony into a different direction. So one thing we're going to be playing with here in this space is the main colony is going to go up and down the river here, but we're going to want to sort of do a turn to put some more colony this way, and these parts are going to help you with doing that. And again, it's going to allow you to upgrade the walls. These particular ones do keep the floor because there aren't any inserts that go into it. But we're thinking about maybe making a change to that so that you can change these floors as well. So just keep an eye on the mod to see if we do make that change. But these are some very handy bits as well, and the difference between A1 and B1 is just the size of it, so how much space it will give for your turn. So those are also going to be very, very, very helpful if you are switching directions in your colony. And the last one that we've added here is just a brand new one. It is the atrium. It is basically the intersection, the big intersection one, but stacked. So I'm pretty pleased with this one. It's one of those ones that does have only the walls upgrading. So if you make changes to how these inside parts look, it's not going to be affected when you upgrade the walls. I like this one because it gives you some nice stairs from one to the next. It kind of gives an open feel to how your intersection works. And as I called it, the atrium, because you can have it sort of in central places, maybe in between districts or something like that in your colony, and signage all over the place, and you can change up the floors and things to help you keep track of where you are in the colony, because it is very, very easy to get lost in your colony if you just do one hut straight into the next hut, straight into the next hut. You're going to find it's really, really easy to get lost. So using these parts are going to help you not do that. So be aware that all of these parts are here and are going to help make your colony better organized, and give you some various options on things that they're just going to make things easier for you. So those are the parts that are in the infrastructure, which are going to definitely be helpful for you as you lay your colony out. So just like using, the various roads and things that are in other colonies, you want to organize, and being organized is really important. The other thing that's in here is decorations. So you've got the supplies. This just allows you to build decoration versions of your supply camp or your supply ship. I think pretty much all of these styles have this available to them now. And the other thing is miscellaneous. So these have a whole bunch of, basically kind of decorative things that are going to help you just make things look nicer. These are kind of interesting. The column, bottom, middle, top, and pass through. And again, this is where it's really good to be able to take a look at everything and see what it looks like. These are really interesting. If you have, say, a section of your colony where you're not going to build anything in this section, you can use these like pass-through areas, which are giving you a ladder, and they go together. Actually, this one goes together with where is it here? The middle. So this would attach onto the bottom of that one, and then the bottom. So if you were building like off of a cliff or something like that, this is actually really an interesting set of parts, which can give you an access into your colony. So this is something that not everybody's going to use, but they are pretty interesting. Pretty interesting pieces, and just something to keep in mind. The cell topper and the cell bottom were the original sort of decorative parts that were part of the style, and these will go on top of or under the huts that you're building, and these are pretty fancy ones. We did add these bottom numbered cell parts, and what they are is they're not quite as fancy, but they completely will cover the bottom of a hut cell, and they are just different sizes based on whatever building you have on the go. And you can see they're kind of hollow in the inside. These will make more sense when we're doing sort of the cleanup decorative part of building. And so then we've also got like the intersection and the converters have their own, because they're funny shapes. So those are available. Those you're going to use later when you're kind of doing the make everything look amazing part of your building. And then there's the buttress. This one is really kind of fun. So if you're building up against kind of a cliff, these will make it look like you're actually supporting your hive against the cliff or against other huts. So again, this is going to come into play when you're a bit more advanced in your building. But it's really, really important, I think, as I said, with any style, to go take a look through these sections and see what's available to you for your layouts and for your decoration part of building. The other ones that are usually really, really good to take a look at is walls. In this particular case, there are no walls because Hive is entirely walls. So nothing in there. But the other one is fields is always another one that's really, really good to take a look at. There are some larger ones. The tree farm is a pretty big one. If you're not going to build anything outside, if you're going to put everything entirely in the entirely inside the hive, something like a tree farm will be important so that you can actually grow some trees. And again, this one has those upgrade levels. So this is where you have your lumberjack work if you're not going to use the outside. And then there is a full field and tiny field. So full field, oops, where to go? This is one that has sort of a full-size farmer's field, and it has the upgrades here. So these are going to be really important, again, if you're putting everything inside the hive and not going to be building outside at all. And then there's the tiny field, much, much smaller. So this one, what I would recommend is, if you are going to be utilizing these, is the full field will be really good to have one or two or maybe more doing the crops that you need a lot of, like wheat, and the tiny fields will be really good for all of the other ones, all those other mine colony crops like the garlic and the soybeans and things like that. You actually don't need really as much of those, so utilizing the tiny fields is going to be a really good way to get all those fields in place. So the other ones here are the nether fields. These ones are kind of fun. They're really quite pretty. They fit into, if you remember what the intersection looked like, this actually will, if you build an intersection, you can then build this into that space. Yeah, and just make it look really cool and grow some nether things in this particular case. There was a couple different versions of them. This one goes into that the road curve one, which is really fun. So these are just kind of fun parts that will go into those spaces. So make sure you do take a look at these. There's a couple of different bits. Oop, that's not actually a part that you're going to be utilizing. The way that it builds is it's going to build this safety part first, but that will make sense as you build. But the tree farm, the small field, and the tiny field and the full field are the ones that you're going to use mostly. These other ones you'll get into when you're more into that decorative part of things. Now, one thing that I have noted is missing is extra plantation fields, and that's something that's sort of on the list to take a look at, adding plantation fields into Hive. With any of the styles that don't have those extra bits, it's generally a good idea to take a look at other styles that might complement your style, and use those ones instead until we get them in place. But hopefully that'll be in there soon. What I would personally do, and it's something I do with Cavern a lot, is I always recommend mixing and matching your styles. So I wouldn't necessarily completely use Hive. I would, maybe look at, in this case, this is a really great mesa kind of area. Maybe use one of the other styles that we have. Something like maybe Incan is a really cool style, and I would maybe put some of those the farms and things like that. I would put them, outside. This one is actually kind of fun. It actually fits onto a hill, so you could, you know, utilize this. You would have to make sure that you, of course, have an access for your farmer to come outside. I would almost do a farming district where I would have an access that comes out to this area, and have a single residence and a couple of farmers out here. Maybe the forester would be out here, and the fields. So because it is so much easier to grow your crops outside than it is inside, because you have to worry about lighting and things like that. So that's definitely one thing you could do, is you could go ahead and build sort of a farming community or district outside. Of course, you're going to have to put in guard towers and things like that to push your borders out. The other thing, of course, is I always say use Cavern. I would put something into the wall over here, have an access over here, and then I would go and build like one of the farmers' mega halls or something. And not that I think everybody should use Cavern, but I think everybody should use Cavern. But do that. Mix and match. Don't necessarily just look at only the one style that you're looking at. And especially something like Hive, it could be really, really helpful to do that. So think about building with other styles in order to do things like the farms, which are really quite not difficult, not problematic, but challenging to do with that. So that's what this episode's all about, really, is making sure you take a look at all of those parts that are in the mod that are going to help you with building the style. So we didn't build anything new, but that's okay. We took a look at what we had, and in the next bit of tutorial, I will add more parts, and we'll take a look at utilizing those bits to improve and expand your colony. So with that, I am going to say that I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and that we see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.